Hi, I'm Cassandra. I'm from Louisiana and I live in the motherland. And once again, I'm back. Welcome to Disbegana. This is my third YouTube video presentation, and I think I'm feeling a little more at ease here. You know, I'm from Louisiana and we talk fast and country, but there's a time and a place for everything. So I'm having to slow it down and sharpen it up a bit on the mic so you can fully understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. You see, I'm a writer and I love to write. I'm all over Facebook, but I'm having to grow my speaking confidence as time goes by here on YouTube. They say practice makes perfect, and the practice has been very good for me. Thank you so much for your continued patience, and thank you much more for stopping in to visit me here on Disbegana. Much appreciation to my viewers and subscribers who have joined me here in just the little time I've been here on YouTube, sharing my adventures and experiences while living here in the motherland. So, as promised, we shall begin at the beginning. In 2001, I met Baby in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. All tall, dark, handsome, well-dressed, understanding, a very nice man. And at the time, my knight in shining armor. And he asked me out on a date. Our first date was going to his church. Okay, not quite my idea of a first date, but as hindsight goes and history would have it, I went to Baby's church with him on our first date. Baby belonged to Abyssinian Baptist Church there. It was a small but extremely Afro-conscious congregation. Even the name Abyssinian is African. It was the historical name of the Ethiopian Empire in northeastern Africa on the Red Sea. Abyssinia is now the present day Ethiopia. So I learned that like right off the bat about Africa. Also, members of the Abyssinian Baptist Church in Baton Rouge, there was a group of about 30 West African students who were enrolled in a local state university there. And in the church, they had formed an African choir. And man, could they rock. They were young and talented and intelligent and beautiful. And they talk real pretty and everything. So, rubbing elbows with real Africans, I felt almost, authentic myself. So I went out and bought me some pretty African outfits from the local African shop there, and I fell right into the church flow. I was absolutely Abyssinian. Looking back, and unknowingly, the seed for Africa had been planted. Two, the pastor of the Abyssinian Baptist Church had traced his roots back to Ghana. His family had actually retained record of their lineage, and he found his family in the Volta region in a small village named Sokodia Bagami, near Ho. He had visited previously and brought back to the church congregation an ingenious adopt a village concept. So each Sunday, we took up an extra collection to support his newfound home. As a matter of fact, the small village of very few residents grew tremendously after our small weekly, collections were able to lay a main water line to the village, where previously they had to walk long distances to fetch water. The convenience of a water source drew many to the village, and they grew. Okay, now, all right. I digress. Let's get back to the story. That's why I love writing so much, because I can delete and backspace to keep things in order. So anyway, In 2001, after Baby and I married in the Abyssinian Baptist Church, of course, the pastor invited Baby and some of his friends to join him, and they all packed up and left for Ghana. This was sort of a business trip, and it only lasted 1 week. They visited multiple regions, but it was a fast and furious schedule, and they spent most of their time in travel. But this small taste of Ghana was enough for Baby to return and declare that this was where we were going to move to live. Homie, don't think so. I'm not moving to Africa, boo. Even if I had a bucket list, moving to Africa would not be on it. Mind you, being from a small town in the South, we had not been exposed to anything real about Africa. We knew dashikis, afros, afro picks, afro puffs, afro sheen, and Nehrus with matching medallions. I don't think that was even African. We knew National Geographic, cartoons where Africans had missionaries boiling in a stew pot for dinner, Daktari and Tarzan. And Tarzan had nothing to do with Africa either. Tarzan wasn't even filmed in the jungle. Tarzan was filmed in Louisiana. So the joke was on us that Tarzan had anything to do with the motherland, except maybe that monkey, and he was probably from Hollywood himself. After his first trip, Baby brought me and my mama lovely dresses, authentic jewelry, wall paintings, wood carvings. Ooh, these were things I had never ever imagined could be made in Africa or even considered could come from Africa. Also, he had very interesting pictures and video of their travels, but that was not about enough for me to even give a glancing thought to convince me to move there. I'll take your gifts and stuff. Go back, bring more. I'll be here. And Baby did. He returned to Ghana, I believe it was the following year, this time taking a group of friends and tourists with him. It was a longer visit, and he came back with a much better impression of the country, the culture, and much more interesting stories to tell of his excursions. And of course, many more pretty African stuff for my mama and me. So, he campaigned for Ghana constantly about the people, the potential, the opportunities, the safety and comforts, the health benefits and economics of relocating there. He continued to research and study, and he kept in touch with the people that he had met here in the motherland. So, in 2005, right before Hurricane Rita hit Louisiana, I finally decided to make the journey. When we got off the plane and cleared customs, we stepped out into a vast open terminal space. You see, the airport now is much different, but back then you would just come out into a barricaded crowd of people waiting for others to arrive or seeing off departures or just trying to make a little money by lending a helping hand to the passengers. So, as far as my excited eyes could see, there was an ocean of beautiful African people, smiling faces, white teeth, just a grinning, waving, and shouting, welcome home, brother and sister, welcome home." Ooh, it was, that was a check mark, smiley face, gold star kind of moment for me, and that was the night that I fell in love with Ghana. My maiden visit to the motherland was fantastic. Nothing put a damper on my first impression of our homeland. Not even spending 12 of our 14-day vacation with nothing but the clothes on our backs and what we had in our carry-ons. Delta Airlines had some sort of connection transfer problem out of Atlanta and had lost our things. On day 12, while we were in the Ashanti region visiting Kumasi, Delta contacted us that our baggage had arrived in Accra. Ending our visit in Kumasi, we came back and collected our misplaced luggage. My suitcase had a tag indicating that it had spent its vacation in Lagos, Nigeria, but everything was safe and intact. Baby's luggage was not so lucky. His had sat obviously on the tarmac out in the rain in Frankfurt, Germany. Every single thing in his suitcase was molded, mildewed, and ruined. I just don't even want to get into that story of how Delta Airlines never compensated us one plug nickel for baby's damages. But even that did not cloud our wonderful trip, because in each city we visited, there was always someone there to take our clothes nightly, wash them, iron, and return them each morning. Our friends in America, they thought we had taken all of our pictures on the same day because we had on the same clothes. That was before they heard our story about our lost bags and, of course, our great vacation. Right then and there, we both agreed that Ghana was where we wanted to be. When we got back, baby couldn't outtalk me, telling everyone about our fascinating homeland. Our friends would see us coming and say, "Oh Lord, here they come talking about Ghana again." But being the good friends and great family that they are, they listened and were witness to our mental foundation that manifested us into, well, my present life right here and right now. We returned again in 2006, 2007, 2009, and 2011, bringing with us each time guests and friends on our tour to the motherland. In April of 2011, we came once again with a tour group of family members. So on this trip, we kind of nonchalantly looked around at houses, and we found one. A huge, lovely mansion in an area called Dome at Christian Village. So we arranged holding deposits with the realtor and promised to return in about 6 months. That would be around, October. So when we returned to Louisiana, all amped up and excited that we had actually made the first step onto our runway of dreams. While baby continued to build upon our plans, I practiced in the mirror my speech that would hopefully convince my sister Peaches to come along too. I had rehearsed telling her of all the ways that she could live like a queen on her retirement here in Ghana, of the stress-free life she could accomplish, of the good foods to be eaten and the good times to be had. So I called her, invited her, and was ready to dive into my speech when she simply said yes. And that was the icing on the cake. Right then and there, the three of us sold everything: clothes, house, cars, furniture, appliances, pictures off the wall, and food off the stove. Relics, memories, belongings, trinkets, trash, and treasures that we just could not bring along to our new life. Instead of the 6 months as we planned, in 90 days, we stepped through the doors of our new home here in Accra with 8 suitcases between us all into an unforeseeable, unknown, and now unregrettable and unforgettable new life here in the motherland. Please stay tuned. There's much more to come about who, what, when, and where of our journey. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you'll stay a while longer to view my slideshow of our great memories. Until next time, I'm Cassandra. I'm from Louisiana, and I live in the motherland. And this be Ghana.